I'm going to talk about the enigma of the three different films which I've studied, which are Paranormal Activity, Sinister, and Annabella. The first question asks how enigma is used to ensure that the audience is left with a puzzle to solve or unanswered questions which can only be answered by going to watch the film. Well, in Paranormal Activity, the scene where the man's attacked by the devil in the car leaves the audience curious as to what has happened to the protagonist after the devil finally caught hold of him. It also doesn't show why he has been attacked by the antagonist, as the trailer didn't give away what was the cause that led to this. In Annabella, the bit the audience is left puzzled by is what happened to the protagonist once she was attacked by the demon, who was the antagonist at the end of the sequence. It doesn't reveal what had happened to her after the demon finally caught hold of her. And in Sinister, there weren't as much enigma used to solve, as it was a very linear horror film. However, one part was when the man packed his bags to leave the house in hope of leaving all the demons. He saw the demon who had possessed his own child, with many different children sitting down. This would leave the audience wondering what happened when the man finally saw the demon. The next question is what part of the narrative is left unanswered. In Paranormal, the scene that left unanswered was how the antagonist suddenly converted into a protagonist character near the end of the trailer. Also, the scene where he gets attacked is quite vague and leaves us clueless as to what the devil done and the impact it had on him. In Annabella, the scene which is left unanswered was what led to the fire when it started to begin and appear from nowhere. The woman was using her sewing machine, as there was no one in the house at the moment, which was only one thing to suggest what had caused the fire, which was the door. In Sinister, the scene which is left unanswered is how the small girl was possessed as she was left inside the room by herself on the floor. This was a narrative which the audience had to guess, as there was no evidence as to what led to this happening. The next question asks how are reviews and accolades used and where are they from? Reviews and accolades are used by YouTubers, having a place under the clip where audience can comment their response or feedback on the trailer, which helps to see the audience thoughts and opinions about it. It's also from all the audience of the film and other people who's watched the film. The last question is where are accolades and reviews used and why? They are normally used at the end of a film trailer, and they are usually used on the website of the film or on YouTube sites.